So keep solving our physics subject GRE. So 72, the major index of X-ray is rocking less than 1. So basically they say, oh, this is less than, the N is larger than 1 X-ray in the salt. Okay, so which because which they say this is consistent with the theory of relativity. Okay, A said that relativity deal with light travel in the vacuum only. This is not correct. Relativity deal with light travel in not just travel in a vacuum. B said X-ray cannot transmit signal. This is fundamentally wrong. C said X-ray photons, right? Has imaginary mass. X-rays photon is the usual photon. Photon has zero mass. So D said theory of relativity predicts the development of solid state. This is also fundamentally wrong. So the remaining answer is E. The remaining answer is E. Okay, 73 said that it's necessary coat the glass lens with a non-reflecting layer. So basically, you have glass. And coating air, and then the distance is D. The lens distance is T. Okay, and ask you about the best choice for T. Suppose the wavelength is lambda. Okay, you said that you want to there's no you want with non-reflecting layer, right? So that means if a light pass in and go out, these two should have deconstructing reference, deconstructing interference. So this tells you that their lambda difference should be lambda over 2, lambda divided by 2, and what's this one and this one difference is they travel 2t. So you can solve it. You get t equals to lambda over 4. So the answer is A. Basically, to prove this, you need to assume that these two are in the same phase. So you need to assume that the glass is the index for the glass is larger than index of coating and the index of air, and I think it's reasonable. Okay. Okay, 74 said that unpolarized light is incident onto ideal polarized series. Okay, so and the polarized are oriented and no lights emergence through the second polarized. So what does it mean? So it means that the second polarized light should have 90 degree relative to the first one. Then there will be no lights to pass through. Okay, and then there is a third polarized, and the third polarized has some unknown orientation, which can be continuously deformed. And then you ask you about what is the maximum intensity which you can pass these three polarizer. Okay, so in order to do this, you need to know the two basic things. So the first basic is, suppose you have a light pass through, you have unpolarized lights pass through a polarized pass through a polarizer, then the rest is I over 2, and your lights will be polarized in these directions. So you will fix it. So unpolarized lights pass through a polarizer will fix the directions and have intensity. This is the first fact. The second factor is enough for us. Suppose you have some light with the intensity I, but with fixed polarization, and then you go to another polarizer, and then the angle between them is theta. Then after that, your polarizer will become this way, but your intensity will times cosine theta square. So if somebody is 90 degree to you, then your intensity goes to 0. So remember these two formula. Then remember these two mechanism. Then we can solve the problem. Okay, maybe I use the whiteboard to solve the problem. So all we need to do is just write down equation for I and the second and the third mirror, and we start to do the calculation. Then done. Okay. Okay. So the first one is I. Okay. So the first one is I. So it passed through the first one. It become I over 2. And the third one we don't know. Suppose there is a theta, so we have this one. Also the third one we don't know. But remember one thing is that the first one and the third one has 90 degree difference, right? So the third one should be 90 degree. So after passing the third one, or the original second one, then we should have this, because now the angle between this one and the 90 degrees 90 minus theta. So your total intensity is I over 2 times cosine theta square and the sine theta square, because cosine minus 90 minus theta is theta. So you have I over 2 cosine theta sine theta square. Okay. And then what you need to do is you need to know you know that this can be written as I over 8 sine 2 theta square, because sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cosine theta. So we have this. And what is the maximum of this? The maximum over this is when 2 theta is equal to pi over 2. So theta is pi over 4. So the answer is the maximum amplitude is I over 8. I divided by 8. So the answer is B. The answer is B. Okay, 75. It looks difficult, but you can think clearly. Okay, so 75 is the period of hypothetical Earth satellite. So you have satellites at sea level, which will be 80 minutes. So Earth and 80 minutes. Okay, so the period is 80 minutes. And the third, and in terms of the radius of synchronized means that if it means that their period is 24 hours. Okay, so 75. To solve 75 is easy. That remember that Kepler's third law. Okay, so third law tells us that let me write down. So Kepler's law tells us that t cubed over the radius 3 is constant. Okay, so for the sea level one, your t is 80 minutes over re to cube will equal to something we don't know, but with the 24 hours. So 24 hours is 24 times 6 minutes square. Okay, so we can solve it. And how to solve it? Okay, so let me try. So we have this equal to 24 times 60 over 80 squared. So this is 3, 4. Okay, so this is this, and this is. Okay, so you have this. So your x is close to re times 2 to the 2 is this one. Okay, so it's 4re times something. Okay, so we can estimate this one. It depends on how you to estimate this one. But you know that this must less than 9, because 3 to the power of 2 should be 9, right? And then you also know this should be probably this is 1.8 3 or something. Okay, so which one could be the correct answer? So I think this one, the only remaining is B and C. Okay, so what we need to know is how to estimate this. So another way is, another method is that you go this 18 squared, which is this one. Sorry, this probably this one. So if I know 18 squared is this, then I can say that x over I squared cube will less than 400. Then I can ask which number, which cube is less than 400. So 7 cube is less than 400. So the 7 is, so we know that 7 can be the possible answer, and 18 is too large. 18 is too large. So I will choose 7. Okay, that's it. So basically that's it. And now we'll see you guys in the next video, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.